Today, we're diving into Atomic Habits by James Clear. And let me tell you, this book is a game changer. It's not just about, doing different things. It's about becoming a different person. So if you're ready to see how the smallest, tiniest changes can lead to absolutely massive results, well, let's jump right in.
Okay, be honest. Have you ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels? You make these big New Year's resolutions, you're super motivated for like a week, and then poof, it's gone. You're right back where you started. You want to change, you really do, but you just feel stuck. So what's the secret? How do you actually break out of that cycle?
All right, check out this idea. Imagine a plane taking off from New York, heading for LA. Now, what if the pilot makes a tiny adjustment right at the start? Just a 3-degree shift in the nose of the plane. You wouldn't even notice it, right? It's almost nothing. But over the course of that entire flight, that tiny change means the plane doesn't land in Los Angeles, it lands down near Tijuana, Mexico. And that, right there, is the core idea of this book. Those tiny, almost invisible shifts in our daily habits can totally change where we end up in life. So that plane analogy is pretty powerful, right? It shows how small changes can have a huge impact. But just how small are we talking? Well, the book boils it all down to one simple number. It's all about the surprising, and I mean surprising power of getting just 1% better.
We're all taught to think that if you want massive success, you need to take massive action, right? Like some huge, life-altering event. But James Clear says, nope, that's where we get it all wrong. The real secret, the actual key to success, it's not in those giant leaps. It's in the tiny, consistent, almost boring 1% improvements you make every single day.
And this is where the math just gets kind of mind-blowing. If you get just 1% better at something every day for a year, you don't end up 365% better. Oh no, thanks to the magic of compounding, you end up almost 38 times better. Let that sink in. Not 38% better, 38 times better. That's what we mean by exponential growth.
But, and this is really important, this whole compounding thing, it's a double-edged sword. It works both ways. Getting 1% better every day leads to incredible results. But what about getting 1% worse every day? Making a few bad choices, skipping that workout, well, that compounds too. And over a year, it doesn't just make you a little worse, it drives you down to nearly zero. So every single day, your habits are either building you up or tearing you down. There's no standing still.
So if this compounding effect is so powerful, why doesn't it feel that way in the moment? Well, this is a huge point in the book. He calls it the valley of disappointment. We go to the gym a few times and we expect to see a six-pack, right? We expect progress to be a straight line going up. But in reality, the biggest